China is offering a new vision of the internet, one which combines sweeping content curbs with uncompromising data controls. The idea is called cyber sovereignty, and it's already spreading around the world. This is your Bloomberg Quick Take on the new cyber Cold War.
Welcome.
It's the new millennium and a simpler time for the internet. Western tech pioneers proclaim it's a borderless force for transparency and individual freedom. But fast forward to now, and that's being challenged like never before.
A massive cyber attack affecting nearly 50 million Facebook users.
And it was my mistake, and I'm sorry.
Even if you're not doing anything wrong, you're being watched.
You want to win a war, you need weapons for that, and we could build them.
There's been a global backlash against Facebook, Google, WhatsApp. This backlash coincides with the rise of the Chinese model. Today you have governments from Russia to Southeast Asia saying, hang on, we get to control content on the internet, and at the same time, that is not an impediment to stunning economic growth.
It's an ideological coup and a rejection of the American internet model, which promised to spur innovation and freedom. Now China is offering a different vision, both internet control and tech innovation, and it has fans.
Today, there would be a growing number of people who would argue that controlling the flow of information across the internet does not actually impede innovation.
The crux of the Chinese internet model is based around the nation state, setting your own rules for your own citizens that can't be circumvented by the internet.
So very simply, they want to control what sort of content is hosted on the internet that's available to Chinese users, and they want absolute control over that content. So if they decide, for instance, that they don't want any references to the Tiananmen massacre of 1989, then they will scrub that out of every website and every app within the country that Chinese consumers can see.
And this controlled, moderated version of the internet is spreading, especially across Southeast Asia. Vietnam's controversial version of the Chinese internet model went into effect in 2019. It demands the data of Vietnamese users is kept in the country. Indonesia, Southeast Asia's largest economy, already requires data to be stored locally. The Philippines has stepped up what critics call a media crackdown, and one of the latest to buy into the rationale is Thailand, which passed a cybersecurity bill modelled on China's. Southeast Asia is the testing ground for Chinese ambitions. The region is home to more than 500 million people whose internet economy is expected to triple to $240 billion by 2025.
I think a lot of Chinese companies and potentially Beijing itself see Southeast Asia as the first step in expanding their influence globally. But that's where the digital Cold War kind of differs from the Cold War we're familiar with. In this case, I think countries are adopting the Chinese-style model without necessarily subscribing to Beijing's style of government and or Beijing's agenda.
China's version of the internet is appealing to other nations who want to control what their populations see and hear, but it doesn't mean China's calling the shots. Instead, it could create an unprecedented bifurcation of the internet, effectively ending our notion of a truly worldwide web, meaning what information you can easily access would depend on where you are and what that government decides you should know.